Welcome to another exciting episode on our channel, where we dive deep into the lives of those who've left an indelible mark on our world. Did you know that one man born in the humblest of circumstances would go on to shape the future of education as we know it today? His name was John D. Rockefeller. Born into a modest family, Rockefeller's journey from a small-town boy to becoming the richest man in the world is an inspiring tale of determination, hard work, and vision. But it was his belief in the power of education that has left a lasting impact, shaping the future of millions of children and the very fabric of our society. Before we unravel his life and his extraordinary contribution to education, let's take a step back and understand the era in which he lived. A time of rapid industrialization, social upheaval, and stark disparities. A time that was the dawn of the 20th century. Stay tuned as we set our time machine to the early 1900s and get ready to embark on an enlightening journey. Did you know about the dawn of the 20th century? It was a time of rapid industrialization and profound social shifts. America was pulsating with vitality. The wheels of industry moved swiftly and cities swelled as the population skyrocketed. Yet this wave of progress was not without its dark side. Wealth and opportunity began to split. The rich flourished while the poor struggled. Quality education remained out of reach for many children from less privileged backgrounds. Amid these challenging times, visionaries emerged who saw the potential beyond the disparities. They dreamed of a nation where every child could benefit from quality education. Among them was a man who rose from modest roots to immense wealth. He built his fortune on the oil that powered America's industrial revolution. His name was John Rockefeller. He saw education as the key to national progress. He believed in the impact of quality education transform lives and shape the future. As he observed the changing American landscape, he saw a chance to leave a lasting impact. Amidst this dynamic backdrop, one man stood out, set to leave an indelible print on the course of American education: John D. Rockefeller. Born into modest circumstances, Rockefeller's journey is a classic tale of the American dream. Originating from upstate New York, Rockefeller was instilled with values of hard work and thrift by his parents. His early life was difficult, yet he was resolved. At just 16, he began saving diligently from his job as a bookkeeper. By 23, he had amassed enough to try his luck in the booming oil industry of the 1860s. With partner Maurice B. Clark, he formed what would become Standard Oil, a behemoth in American corporate history. Rockefeller's success was the result of his business acuity and belief in controlling every aspect of his business, a strategy known as vertical integration. This allowed Standard Oil to monopolize the market, making Rockefeller one of the world's wealthiest men. However, wealth wasn't his endgame. Influenced by his mother's beliefs, he donated over $500 million to philanthropic causes. But oil wasn't his only passion. He had a vision for education. An idea that would forever change the landscape of learning and lay the groundwork for the modern education system we know today. Rockefeller saw education as the cornerstone of progress and prosperity. His vision was crystal clear, his commitment steadfast. His belief was that education for all, irrespective of background, was the key to societal success. This conviction led him to leverage his wealth for philanthropic efforts, creating a lasting societal impact. A notable achievement of this mission was the founding of the University of Chicago. In an era where higher education was a luxury, Rockefeller envisioned an institution that would serve as a knowledge hub. He invested millions, ensuring the university was well-resourced and staffed by highly qualified educators. His aim was to transform the University of Chicago into a center for intellectual growth and societal progress. However, his vision wasn't limited to the university alone. He believed in early education and thus invested in primary and secondary schools nationwide. He recognized that a solid educational foundation was key to individual success and societal advancement. His strategic investments in education were focused on instigating systemic change. He also understood that learning didn't end in the classroom and therefore funded libraries and community centers, facilitating lifelong learning. These initiatives marked the beginning of a grand plan, a plan that revolutionized education in America and beyond. Rockefeller's vision was bold, ambitious, and transformative. His belief in the power of education was a call to action that continues to resonate today. These were but the first steps in Rockefeller's grand plan for education. As the 20th century progressed, so did Rockefeller's educational initiatives. John D. Rockefeller, an oil magnate and philanthropist, revolutionized American education. Despite challenges of his era like overcrowded classrooms and scarce resources, he envisioned a future where education was accessible to all. His oil-derived wealth fueled this vision. Rockefeller directed significant funds towards establishing schools, libraries, and teacher training programs nationwide. These were not mere buildings or programs, but symbols of opportunity and progress. Each school built, book purchased, and teacher trained became part of a larger vision. His efforts weren't just about providing resources, but about creating an environment conducive to learning. He believed education held the power to eradicate social and economic disparities. He recognized a well-educated populace's value not just for the individuals but for society. His investments also extended to research into teaching methods, curriculum development, and educational policy, laying the groundwork for evidence-based educational practices. His influence reached higher education too. He generously funded universities, promoting the growth of specialized study fields, enriching today's academic diversity. These contributions weren't only financial, but were catalysts for change, igniting a shift towards more inclusive, effective, and research-based education. So the birth of modern education was not an event, but a journey that was significantly influenced by the vision and generosity of John D. Rockefeller. Fast forward to the present day, and Rockefeller's legacy in education is evident. His vision has become a cornerstone of modern education. His philanthropic investments have created educational opportunities and shaped our teaching approach today. Take the University of Chicago, founded with Rockefeller's support, or consider the Spelman College, a historically black college, existing thanks to his generosity. His philanthropy has left a lasting imprint on education, and his commitment to teacher training influences modern practices. Understood that education is not just buildings and books, it's about skilled educators who inspire and guide students. This belief led him to fund teacher training programs. Many still exist today, shaping the teaching profession. His contributions to libraries and educational resources have had a profound impact. We can trace our current emphasis on accessible learning materials back to his efforts. His belief in the power of knowledge and its accessibility continues to resonate. His philanthropy helped establish education as a priority, a public good worthy of investment. This perspective has shaped policies and public attitudes, creating a ripple effect in society. Rockefeller's legacy in education is not just about the past, it's about the present and the future. It's about the ongoing pursuit of educational excellence equity. It's about recognizing the transformative power of education and the role of philanthropy in supporting it. But what does this mean for the future of education? Rockefeller's vision for education was not just about his time, it was about the future. His belief that quality education should be accessible to all continues to inspire reform. The seeds he planted have into trees, impacting education. His funding of schools, support for teacher training, all have adapted to society's changing needs. Yet the core principles remain. Education can transform lives. Every person deserves the chance to learn. Today we see Rockefeller's legacy in the push for more inclusive education systems, innovative teaching methods, and efforts to bridge the digital divide. We see it in the efforts to bridge the digital divide and make technology a tool for learning accessible to all. John D. Rockefeller, a name synonymous with wealth, power, and remarkably education. His early 20th century journey saw the rise of a mogul dedicated to education. His philanthropy established schools, libraries, and teacher training programs, shaping the modern education system. Today we still feel his impact. His investments didn't just provide resources, but also fostered a culture of giving, driving educational progress. The legacy of John D. Rockefeller shows the power of philanthropy. His contributions transformed his time's educational landscape, laying a foundation for the future. As we face education's challenges and opportunities, we stand on the shoulders of giants like John D. Rockefeller.